Hi guys, happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. Okay, here we go. I wanted to show you something because again, we're adding on here and I have quite a few emails in reference to people really just really being stuck here. What I want to show you again is something here. If you notice, we have the Wheel of Fortune. We had that during the week, and yesterday I think, or the day before, we had the World card. The World card was originally the Wheel card, so again, it's about the ebb and flow, the change, right? How we come into Friday is with the Eight of Swords, okay? The feeling stuck. To me, this card just represents really, it's the, we've just let the mind get out of control, okay? So, what I want to say here is, if you notice, okay, this is Jupiter and Gemini, okay? Gemini is about the mind, okay, and how the mind traps you, and it's mind control. It's how you control the mind, right? It's not about receptivity. It's about you controlling the mind, okay? So Jupiter is about luck, growth, and wisdom, okay? Gemini is about mastering the mind, right? So I want to show you too here because you've got swords and you've got coins, okay? So air and earth, these two signs, they suffocate each other, literally suffocate each other. So what I want to say here is, coming into the read, you notice this person is helping her. It's let people help you. Be receptive. Be open to receiving, okay? He's showing her that you're not stuck here. You're doing this to yourself. So let people into your life, okay? I guess is where I'm going with this. What trips up this card a lot of times, we self-sabotage ourselves. We get caught up in the I can't, the yes buts. There's always a something in there that's sabotaging you. Okay, you've got to get out of your own way, basically. Okay. Gemini too, they're the twins because what you're trying to merge here is the masculine and the feminine, the give and the receive, right? It's about letting your intuition in too, because if you look at the 8, we have another 8 here, okay? I'm going to reference to you what that means too. That's positive change of mind or movement, okay? 2 8s mean that, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Star card, so I know that we're going to get there, okay? So all right. It's also about letting passion into your life. That comes with receptivity, though, right? And that's how we come into this read, all right? What we've got here is the 8 of coins crossed by the Star card. And remember I said what we cross it with is what we've got to pay attention to. The 8 of coins here again is about being very diligent. That's a Virgo card, okay? Don't get lost in the details. Don't get lost in the detail that you miss the beauty in what it is that you're doing, okay? Don't beat the life out of it. Let it breathe, okay? Because that's why these two elements fight, okay? Why they suffocate, because they're not flowing. This is another air card, okay? The Star card is another air card. But do you notice that there's receptivity here? This is about your intuition, about receiving, about taking time to just get lost in the moment, but don't get stuck there. You know what I mean? Put the finishing details on, but then at some point, leave it. Don't cut yourself off so much from life that you suffocate yourself, okay? That's why the Star card is showing up here. It's receptivity. It's life. It's flow. okay? She's grounded, but yet there's air here. It's circulating. The flowers are growing. The birds, that's your intuition here, okay? The grass is growing, all right? So be grounded, but be open, okay? That's what the star card is telling you, and that's why it's your wishes fulfilled, because you've gotten out of your own way, all right? Now, the Wheel of Fortune is the outbound card. That is, again, about embracing change. That's the fire, okay, that comes in here and just brings passion to these things here, but also gives them life, okay? That's the life force behind everything. Everything blooms when you're not trying to command, you know. You're letting things flow here, okay? So I'm going to say this. Merge, again, your emotions with your intellect. Let it flow. The message through this, too, is to really just, I'm going to drive home again the meditation part. You really just need to take time to yourself and quiet your mind. If you're not a big meditation fan, give it 10 minutes, okay? Because a lot of people will say, I can't meditate, my mind never slows down. Give it 10 minutes. Your mind will slow down. It will, okay? And then just be open to what you're, you know, just breathe. You know, practice your breathing, because that's the breath of air. We need air to live, or we're going to suffocate. And that's what you're doing to yourself here, okay? When things flow like this, life blooms, all right? What happens here, too, is, you know, it's also about health here, okay? Because with this combination, you exhaust yourself, and that leads to other things. Okay, I'm going to say this again. Watch what you're eating. Watch what you're telling yourself. Watch what you're watching on TV. You know, what happens here, and the reason I really chose to do this is, again, because I'm getting a lot of, I hear what you're saying. I still, though, just don't know how to get out of my own way. How do I say? This scenario right here, okay, the suffocation part, the hanging on for dear life, the trying to orchestrate every single move in your life, is where that show, The Hoarders, comes in, okay? Someone will watch that show and say, well, what's the big deal? You know, just get rid of the stuff and do this and do that. It becomes such a psychological impairment at that point that you're just literally stuck. You're stuck and you're hanging on to, it's not even about the stuff, you're just looking for something tangible that's familiar to hang on to. And that's what happens when we just try to control everything and we don't let life flow and we don't, you know, really say, you know what, today's a crappy day. I'm coming up against a bunch of resistance, but you know what, today, all I have to do is breathe. That's all I have to do. That's it. You know, I don't need to make a change in the world. I just need to breathe. And that's okay some days. You know, let things flow like that. You don't need to control everything in life. Okay? That's what I think is really happening here. We're hanging on to things that don't matter, but they're familiar. Okay? Again, the devil you know opposed to the devil you don't know. You've got to make some little moves here. You've got to really just release the stronghold, okay? Take a few breaths. Some days you don't need to really be making monumental movement. It's internal movement that is needed on those days. You know, just really, really let things come to you. Don't orchestrate out to the world, all right? Let people in. Hear other points of view. Be open is all that I'm saying, really, because open is the flow that you're getting from here, okay? Your intuition is always there. We just drowned it out when we try to control everything, right? And that's Gemini's big challenge in life, is to, you know, get the stories out of your head, be able to feel things. Emotions are real. You know, they are. You've just got to feel them. They're not on paper, and you can't really orchestrate them. You can try to force them and put them into a stronghold, but again, that's when we come into that show, the hoarders. You know, you're just not willing to let life in there. You know, you're really just stuck, and it's very, very sad, you know, but it's not an easy fix once you get to that point, okay? So, let things flow. This is when your dreams come true. This is when your wishes come true. When you just you just breathe, okay? Keep in mind, air element, it's more than just, there's just so much to it. It controls our nervous system, okay? It controls our lungs. We need air to live, okay? Earth, that's our stability, okay? We need that, but we don't want to be so fixated that, you know, we lack to feel anything, okay? We're ungrounded, we're insecure. Any kind of change is hard, okay? This is, you know, too, with that, it's the danger again of becoming just cut off from life, okay? I really think, honestly, these two cards are fixed cards, okay? So, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy change, because it's not. These two cards, again, they're two eights. You're looking for harmony. You're just trying to find the balance there, all right? I'm going to say this. For the weekend, try to focus on downtime. Try to quiet your mind. I'm not saying downtime as in, you know, you can play out a whole scenario in your head, you know, by the time you hit the first stoplight. I'm saying just quiet your mind. Focus on your breathing. That's what I'm saying, okay? Really, just because that's, if you're really, really this stuck, let's use this as the first step, okay? Just really, really make your main focus this weekend focusing on your breathing, really. It sounds like it's going to be easy, but it's not. And that's why it's so not easy to get pulled out of this rut or this hump that you just can't get over. It's because you're too, what do we do when we're scared, right? We try to hang on. We try to hang on just because when things are uncontrollable and our life seems out of control, we'll grasp for anything. And that's what's happening here. You're hanging on to things that are long outlived. It's just something that you can control. You've got to let it go though, because it's holding you back. Okay, so for the weekend, really, just try this. For those of you that are really, really stuck, for those of you that aren't, I'm just showing you here that you've got to get out of your head. These limitations that you're putting on yourself are self-made. I assure you of that, okay? Because that's what this really means here too, all right? This is why this particular way, how these cards are falling and why I'm referencing that show, The Hoarders, is because this, how do I say? It's obsessive behavior, okay? It's things are from A to Z, and it's a delicate balance there. That's why this spread right here, I would be very, very, very surprised that the people that are finding themselves really, really stuck, again, there's obsessive qualities here. We have them, and we don't realize we have them until they're out of control, and then they become really, really obsessive, like that show, right? People don't start out like that, and they sure as heck don't want to be like that. It's very frustrating, you know, and it's just not, it's maddening to the people around them, yes, But things aren't that easy to quit, to fix. You don't get here overnight. So I'm showing you little steps here. This is more than just I can very easily just give you a reading. I can tell you exactly what the cards say, and I can tell you exactly what you're supposed to do. But that doesn't help you do it if you're stuck, right? So I'm trying to give you little footsteps here to get you at least out of the gate. There's nothing is just one big mother may I. You can't always script things on paper and let life come out that way. Sometimes, you know what? We're looking for the extravagant, and it's really not. It's the little things like, you know what? Today I'm going to take a step back, and I'm just going to focus on my breathing. As stupid as that sounds and as crazy as that tarot reader lady is, I'm going to do it because you know what? How I'm doing things is just not working. So I'm going to do this. It really is just quieting the mind. The mind can have us so tripped up that we really don't even know who we are anymore. Okay? So I'm going to say this. This is self-imposed. Okay? Shut the mind down. Just shut it down. Just for the weekend. Just try it. Okay? The things that you do. Yes, focus on them. Okay? Have your finances in check. Okay? Have your resources in check as far as your time, your energy, what you're eating, what you're telling yourself, all of that stuff. Okay? Don't get so lost, though, in the tiny little details that you're missing the big picture. Okay? Don't put the list. And I'll tell you, I'm a big list person, but I know when I'm getting too stuck on the list, and I know when I need to take a step back and just wing the day. I know that because I know that about myself, and I know I have to work on these things too. So I assure you, not only do I see it, I'm a person too. I go through all of this. So I know these things, and I'm the queen of quirkiness. I will try the craziest little things. I implement things in bizarre ways, but they always work. I'm wired different. So I know that these things work. I've tried them all. Okay? So I'm going to say this. We can be our own worst enemy here. But what you need to do is really just embrace change so that you can be receptive to messages, signs, variety, different ways of doing things. Okay? If you notice, and I use these cards for a reason, this card right here, see the masterpiece that he's created down there? It's beautiful, but yet he's not going to leave it be. He's going to stick to it and stick to it and stick to it. It's done. It's done. It's beautiful. Beauty and creativity are in the uniqueness that you bring. Things are beautiful as they are. Know when enough is enough. Okay? Virgo has a really, really, everything has to be laid out. Nothing is left to surprise. There's no magic there. There's no wonder. There's no surprise. With this card either. Let the surprises come in. Right? It's the most amazing feeling, and that's where the beauty is, in here, when things turn. Okay? The universe knows what you need. Let it come in. Okay? All right. I know this was a long-winded whatever, but if it's meant for you, you'll get what I'm saying. If it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. What I'm going to say then, if you're not in the midst of really, really being stuck, I know where a lot of us were really trying to make change, but this is really, I went on that ledge there, for the people that are really, really just stuck, okay? For the people that aren't, I'm going to say here, just be open. Be a little more open to receiving. You know where you're cutting yourself off, okay? Be open to communication. Be open to receiving. Be a good listener. Practice listening, right? Your listening skills. Don't be in your head when someone is telling you a story already how you're going to respond. Really, really be present. Be present, I guess, is the takeaway for everyone in this reading. Don't be so far ahead of yourself that you're missing the moment. Because as we talked about, I think yesterday or the day before, the power is in the moment. It's in the day. It's in the day right where you are. Don't be so far ahead of yourself that if Ed McMahon, granted you'd need a Ouija board because I'm pretty sure he's dead, but if he were to show up at your door, you want all these things, you wish for these things, but then you're never home to get them. You're always so far ahead of yourself. Be present, okay? Let the universe guide you. Let it tell you where to go, you know? Just be present. You're perfect as you are, okay? Just take a step back. When you feel like this, like you're really, really just stuck, step back and just practice your breathing again. Just really just take a step back. I'm going to throw something else in here too as a helping aid because I know that this works. I've also tried it, okay? And you don't need to run to the mall to get this. You can get it at any pharmacy. I think the grocery stores now a good percentage of the time have organic oils. What you want to do is look for 100% pure, okay? Either rosemary or lavender, okay? The oils, the essence oils, not the cooking stuff, the you know what I'm talking about, the aromatherapy oils, all right? Spritz them on your pillowcase. Just breathe them. Keep them in your purse. Just take a few minutes to yourself and really just inhale. Those two will bring you right to center. They'll bring you right to the present moment, and they'll make you feel relaxed, okay? Sometimes if I'm having a really crazy day and I just really need to take 5 minutes for myself, I'll just plop my butt on the couch for a minute. I'll spray the pillows with the lavender oil, and I'll really just sit there. And it works constantly. What this will also do, because I'm pretty sure that headaches and fatigue and just really not realizing how tight you're holding your body, this really helps with migraines too. If you find yourself repetitive headaches, if your vision is playing tricks on you, because that's also another thing that's going to show up. When you're not balanced and centered, your equilibrium is off. You dizzy, you get those head rushes, you get headaches, right? You get nauseous. These are the things that are telling you that you're not flowing. You're cutting yourself off somewhere. These are just checkpoints, all right? Because it starts inside before it starts to show up outside, okay? So try the oils. They really do work. They're little bottles. They're not expensive. That's why I'm saying you can get them at, anywhere, basically, okay? So try these things too. And again, remember, just if you notice yourself too, I'm saying practice the breathing because I've done this too. I hold my breath sometimes and don't even realize that I've done that. It's because that's a sure indication that we're too in our heads. When you're sitting there and I'm telling you to practice your breathing and you realize, oh crap, I haven't exhaled in like 5 minutes. Exaggeration, but yeah, catch yourself too. Practice that because that's also going to show you you're tied up. It's proving my point, okay? So just remember that. We've got to have, the air's got to circulate to have life here. Otherwise, the ground is going to shrivel up. The flowers are going to die. We're not going to have energy. We need deep breaths to get energy, to get vibrance, right? These are fire. This is fire. So let it flow. And the bird here, this indicates your intuition. It's always right there. It's a non-negotiable. Just let it in, okay? All right, guys. I hope I helped you in some way. I know this was not a normal, here's your daily, but I really think instead of getting less emails and doing less readings on people that are freeing up, I notice people just are really just paralyzed, and that's what happens here. And I really am trying to get ahead of someone ending up like that. And again, I have no disrespect for that show Hoarders. It breaks my heart, actually, and I don't even know if it's on anymore. I've stopped watching it such a long time ago, but that's a horrible feeling. And as an empath too, I know what that feels like. So I know it's not something you do on purpose, but indirectly you're doing it to yourself. So I'm just trying to give you little steps here, okay? So no monumental changes, just spend the weekend really just focusing on your breath and clearing your space too, okay? If there's things really that are in your surroundings that you don't use, free up that space, because what that does too is it gives you breathing room. Really, these little things sound like they're nothing, but they really do work, okay? So I hope that I helped you in some way, okay? And have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much.